Could certainly be the result because the Iran regime is very weak.
On paper, Israel says it's about one thing: stopping Iran from going nuclear. That's been the official line for years, in fact. But if you listen closely, you'll hear something else slipping through. The push for a regime change, the fall of the Ayatollah, the end of the Islamic Republic, and the birth of a new Iran. Look at the trajectory of Israel's actions. First, their strikes killed Iranian top leaders, their 3 top military commanders, and many senior nuclear scientists. Then Benjamin Netanyahu delivered a speech, but the Israeli Prime Minister did not address the clerics. He spoke directly to the people of Iran. He addressed the people of Iran. He said it was time they stood up for freedom and rose against the regime.
Islamic regime, which has oppressed you for nearly 50 years, threatens to destroy my country, the State of Israel. The objective of Israel's military operation is to remove this threat, both the nuclear threat and the ballistic missile threat to Israel. And as we achieve our objectives, we're also clearing the path for you to achieve your objective, which is freedom.
Netanyahu did not stop at that. Reports suggest Israel had a plan to kill Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei. They had a plan to assassinate him, but they did not go ahead with it. Do you know why? Because apparently it was rejected by Donald Trump, the US president. He thought it was not, and I'm quoting, it was not a good idea. That's what Trump is said to have said. And he vetoed the plan. Now, Trump has not officially commented on this, but Netanyahu has dismissed it.
There's so many false reports of conversations that never happened, and I'm not going to get into that, but I can tell you, I think that we do what we need to do. We'll do what we need to do, and I think the United States knows what is good for the United States, and I'm just not going to get it.
But in the same interview, the Israeli Prime Minister was asked about regime change, and this is what he had to say.
Be the result because the Iran regime is very weak. I think it's basically left with 2 things. It's plans to have atomic bombs and ballistic missiles. That's basically what Iran has. They certainly don't have the people. 80% of the people will throw these theological thugs out. I mean, they murder them, they oppress them for 46 years. They've yearned for freedom.
So Netanyahu might be betting that this chaos sets off something bigger, a chain reaction, a protest movement, maybe even a coup. But that's a huge gamble, and history is really not on his side, on the Israeli leader's side. It's not like Iran has not been here before. They've seen all of this. Since 1979, this regime has survived pretty much everything. A brutal war with Iraq, decades of crushing sanctions, assassinations, cyber attacks, and mass protests, so many of them. It's taken all these punches and stood tall. Take the 2022 protests, the Masha Amini protests, for example. It looked like a turning point in the country, but the regime cracked down hard, and eventually the streets were quiet again. So yes, Iran's people are angry, the economy is a mess, rights are eroding, hope is thin, but the question is not whether Iranians are fed up. The question is, do they see this as the moment, this moment as a reason to rise up? Because right now, Israeli bombs are falling from the sky. Ordinary Iranians are dying because of those bombs. Nothing unites a fractured nation like a common enemy. And that common enemy for the Iranians, as of today, is Israel. So Iranians may see this as a reason to rally around the flag instead. Let's imagine Israel succeeds. Let's say Iran's regime does collapse. Khamenei flees the country. Then who replaces him? Well, no one knows the answer. Iranian opposition forces are divided. On one side, there's Reza Pahlavi, the son of Iran's last Shah. He's in exile, living in the United States. He commands some nostalgic loyalty, but he has no clear base. And then there's the MEK, the Mujahideen-e-Khalq. It is a left-wing Muslim group. They want to overthrow the regime. They were once aligned with Saddam Hussein. They have Washington connections. but Iranians do not trust them very much. Then there are the secular reformists. They have charisma but no structure. There are other groups too, the monarchists, the leftists, the nationalists, the activists. Each has a different vision, a vision of what comes after the Islamic Republic. But none of those visions align. So if the regime does fall, there is no replacement waiting in the wings. It does not automatically mean democracy, the fall of this regime. It could more likely mean chaos. Iran is a country of 90 million people. If it becomes a failed state, it's a terrifying prospect, not just for the people of Iran, but for the whole region. Think Syria, but 10 times larger. There will be power vacuums, refugee crises, and maybe nuclear weapons in unknown hands. So Netanyahu may be betting on regime change. But let's be clear, that's a very high-risk gamble, because trying to take down a regime is one thing, replacing it is another. And if Israel is wrong, the world may not get a new Iran. It may get a broken one, led by groups far worse than the current lot.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor
Hindi,
$30 trillion kakaidyo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali.
Japanese,
4 兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select a language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.